Hi everybody, good morning. It is Monday and I am moving on with my videos and working to keep my promise to keep you guys posted on what this takes to move. We did this from the United States to Costa Rica and we tracked it, but we didn't really know what we were doing. We kind of did whatever we needed to do, but it wasn't thoughtful. It was as thoughtful as we could be, but nothing that we could really track for all of you. So this time it's a little different. So this time we understand more what we're doing. We understand what we can anticipate on the other end in Spain. Not that we understand like the specifics of the country, but we do understand more about like nomading or moving from one place to another. So these are the 3 tracks we're on. We have 3 to go. So if you're thinking about moving abroad or taking a long trip or wanting to bring your pets somewhere or whatever it is, here's some things just to consider. For us, one track is selling our house. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a link to put up from the real estate company here that did a beautiful job showing our property. So if I can figure that out, I'll put it up. But definitely selling the house. So in Spain, if you pay taxes there, which means if you pay taxes there, you don't have to pay them in the United States. So they have that agreement. So we are going to be there. That's one of our tracks I'll tell you in a moment, but we'll pay taxes there. So one of the things we have to be careful of is we have to be able to sell our home here before we get there. Because once we get there, if we sell it from there, then we are taxed on any worldwide income. So that's not going to work. So we are going to have to sell it here. And really in Costa Rica, we just have no idea how long that's going to take. I mean, it could take a month, it could take 2 months, it could take a year. We just don't know how long that'll be. So that's one track. We've done everything we can to, as they said, pimp out the house. So it's beautiful. We've engaged the real estate company, Crane, K-R-A-I-N, Costa Rica. They have an international brand. They're very well thought of. And the owner of it does the international home shows. So that's that. You can find us probably there. So we've done all of that. We've had the video taken. We've taken the pictures. So we are up and running. The next thing is what goes from here. So that's one track. The second track we have is how do we get the dogs to Spain? So one of the things about being in Spain for us is we want to move around the EU a lot, right? We want to come and go as we please and kind of move around. But in order to do that, then our dogs, as you know, Ferdinand and Cousteau, they also have to have their own EU passport. So they have to have what's called a titer test, T-I-T-E-R. So a titer test is all about the antibodies and what antibodies they have and don't have. And they determine the antibodies from the time after they've had a rabies shot. So we've already started on that track. So if you go over to Europe with your pets from anywhere, you have to have either, a titer test, depending on your country. So from what I can tell, there are 4 categories of country, US being number 1, Costa Rica being number 4, as far as moving around in the world. So for here, from leaving here, the titer test looks like this. We have to give them a rabies shot, which we've done. You wait 30 days and then they do a blood draw. And then they take that blood and they send it to the United States, and it has to be looked at by a USDA vet. So just know if you go anywhere, whatever paperwork you have done from the US has to be done by a USDA certified veterinarian. And don't assume that all vets are. Hello, Ferdinand. So we've had the titer test taken now. So it really takes like 4 months to do this. So once the blood's taken, the vet here does all the paperwork. Then she sends all of that information to the US, the USDA vet, and it's really literally a 4-month turnaround. So that's our second track. The real estate track, if you see the tail, I'm being nudged. So he got me distracted. Stop. So the first track is the house. So we've done that. That's done. There's nothing more to do there. The second track is the dog. So we've done everything we can do to affect that. So now we just sit back for 4 months and wait for the results to come back, which we're assuming will be just fine. Once those results come back, then the vet does all the paperwork for us, and we take that paperwork with us to Spain. When we get to Spain, we go to a vet in Spain, and that vet gives us all the paperwork and signs off, and we get the EU passports for the dogs. That means that we can travel around the EU, take them with us, and they will have their own passports, which means they can move around through countries as well. Yay! So that's the house and the dogs. The third track that we're on is getting the Digital Nomad Visa. So because James and I work online, and because we're not done earning money, we want to go with the Digital Nomad, versus they have the retirement one as well, where if you show you have a certain amount of money, that's good enough. But if you go that route, so this is very important, if you choose to go that route, it means you can't earn money anymore. Now, if you're retired and you're really done, I think it sounds like a great thing to do. However, James and I, we are not done. And we love what we do and all of that stuff. So we're going with the Digital Nomad Visa. So what that looks like is we're engaging with, we've already interviewed 2 immigration attorneys. We think we know which one we're going to go with. So we're basically what that looks like. And of course, I'll tell you more as we go. But you have to prove a certain amount of income, and it has to be a household income by one person. So even though James and I are both freelancing and earning income, we can't combine it, right? So it's only one or the other. So we're going to go with James and with what he's doing. And what that looks like is we do all the paperwork, and then 3 months before we leave, we have to be able to show that we have met that income criteria for 3 months. And you show that with a contract from the client or clients you're working with to say, yes, you know, this person, we are paying them. They have a 1 or 2 year contract with us, which just comes up for automatic renewal. And we have to be able to show our bank statements that show that that money is dropping into the account. That's what it looks like. I thought what was interesting, I learned on the last call, was it's not an endless thing, meaning you can't just go as a digital nomad. So if James goes to his clients and they say he's on a 1 year contract, then we have 1 year in Spain on our digital nomad contract before we have to re-up. If they say he has got a contract for 2 years, then it's a 2 year visa in Spain. So that's what that looks like. The good news here is once we get all the paperwork done and everything's complete, and one of the things about working with these immigration attorneys is it's in their best interest to make sure that you get your visa. So you actually have to meet with them, interview, and they have to listen to your story and what you're up to and what you're doing to tell you if they can push you through. And they won't take you on as a client if not, because it's not in their best interest for their statistics and all of that. So once they get all the paperwork going and we're good to go, then when we get on the plane and we land, the Spanish government has exactly 20 days from that moment to give us our visa, or to check our paperwork and give us the visa. So it can be a little scary, I guess, a little dicey, because you're not going over with a guarantee that you've got the visa. However, you do have an immigration attorney whose job it is to tell you that it's not a problem, everything meets all the criteria, check. So that's what that looks like. So that's the house. That's the dogs with their teeter test, and the digital nomad. So those are really the 3 tracks that we're on. And we figure this will take us anywhere from 4 to 6 months to a year. We just have no idea. So in the meantime, we're just doing everything we can do, keeping up all of our practices, meeting all the deadlines, doing what we need, and then let it unfold organically. One of the things about moving around the world like this that we are learning to do is you can't make something happen, right? You can only do what you can, and then you have to let it unfold. It's kind of like life in general. But you can't make things happen faster. You can't speed them up. You just have to nail all your project management. You got to get through your gates on time. and make sure that you can get it done. So those are the 3 tracks that we are working on. Oh, and the last thing, it's not really a track, it kind of fits in with the dogs, but one of the things too is to see how we want to get them to Spain. So of course there's the way we got them here, which is we did cargo plane or, putting them in baggage. So that's definitely one way to do it. Another way to do it is to see about having them be a support dog. So we're kind of looking at those things too. So we will keep you posted on which way we decide to go. But these are just some tips for you to know like what it takes to do it. So traveling abroad is not for the faint of heart. It's not like, it is a good idea, like go and do it, but just know that there's a commitment involved and there's work involved, and it takes project management, a little critical thinking, and really it takes mood management, because once you make a decision, as you well know in life, to go to your next thing, do the next things, change your job, resign from a job, move on to this thing you've always wanted to do, take on a new passion, new hobbies, lose weight, start to run, exercise, whatever it is. Once you start, it takes a commitment to actually turn it out. So that's what I've got to tell you today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Of course, subscribe, hit the button, the whole thing. I don't know where all that's going to be, but I wanted to fill you in and give you that update on what we're working on. So that's it. Take care, Pura Vida, and we will see you again soon. Ciao.